that is management accounting R. In management accounting R, in today's class, we are going to ratio analysis. So we have in today we are going to discuss the introduction part of ratio analysis, and we have already seen that there are many tools to analyze the financial statements such as comparative statement, common size statement, trend analysis, fund analysis, and ratio analysis. Ratio analysis is one of the most powerful tools to analyze financial statements and to draw the inferences. A ratio is nothing but the mathematical or arithmetical relationship between two variables or accounting figures. Ratio analysis is the process of establishing relationship between two figures or groups of figures and interpreting such relationship in order to arrive at managerial decisions. So ratio, it is a relationship expressed in mathematical terms between two accounting figures which are connected with each other in some way or other. So here in the ratio analysis, profit is an absolute term, but profitability is a relative term. So this is what about ratio analysis. In ratio analysis, now this is the introduction part. Ratio analysis can be defined as the process of ascertaining the financial ratio that are used for indicating the ongoing financial performance of a company using few types of ratios such as liquidity, profitability, activity, debt, market, solvency, efficiency, and coverage ratio. There are few examples of such ratio like current ratio, quick ratio, debt equity ratio, and so on. As to measure the financial performance of an organization, we used to go with the ratio analysis, and this ratio analysis is a process used for calculation of financial ratio. In other words, for the purpose of evaluating the financial well-being of a company. The values used for the calculation of financial ratios of a company are extracted from the financial statements of the same company. So by using the financial statements of the company, the ratio analysis are calculated. So this ratio analysis is an important one to measure the growth and performance of the business organization. This is how we are using the ratio analysis in the financial statement. Now, the advantages of ratio analysis. So, what are all the advantages that are there in using the ratio analysis? When employed correctly, ratio analysis throws light on many problems of the firm and also highlights some positives. Ratios are essentially whistleblowers. They draw the management attention towards issues needing attention. So here are some of the advantages of ratio analysis. Ratio analysis will help to validate or disprove the financing, investment, and operating decisions of the firm. They summarize the financial statement into comparative figures, thus helping the management to compare and evaluate the financial position of the firm and results of their decision. Here in the business activity, the process of identifying the financial position and helping the management for their decision is done with the help of ratio analysis. It simplifies complex accounting statement and financial data into simple ratios of operating efficiency, financial efficiency, solvency, long-term positions, etc. The ratio analysis simplifies the accounting statement into small ratios to identify the each measures of the activity or functions of the organization. Ratio analysis helps to identify the problem area and bring the attention of the management to such area. Some of the information is lost in the complex accounting statement and ratio will help to pinpoint such problem. In management activities, the ratio analysis helps to identify the problems that are there in the business area, and it will helps by giving the solution for the business problems. It allows the company to conduct comparison with other firms, industry standards, intra-firm comparison, etc. This will help the organization to better understand the physical position of the economy. The ratio analysis allows the firm standard and other things to compare with the physical position of the organization. These are all some of the advantages that are there in the ratio analysis. Now we are going to discuss the limitations of ratio analysis. While ratios are very important tool of financial analysis, they have some limitations too. The firm can make some year-end changes to the financial statements to improve their ratio. Then the ratio end up being nothing but window dressing. So here the firm at the end of the year they will prepare a financial statement. So by having that financial statement we are going with the ratio analysis. So what it clear cuts is the financial statement is prepared after some end of the month or the year. After that we are preparing the financial statement, and by the help of the financial statement we are preparing the ratio analysis. It is saying that it is a limitation because after a complete data we are going with an analysis. And the second one, a ratio ignores the price level changes due to the inflation. Many ratios are calculated by using historical cost, and they overlook the change in price level between the periods. This does not reflect the correct financial situation. Accounting ratio completely ignore the qualitative aspects of firm. They only take into consideration the monetary aspect. There are two things that has to be discussed. Ratios will always ignore the price level changes, because the price level will be increasing due to inflation and it will be decreasing due to deflation. That financial situations will not reflect with the ratio analysis, and accounting ratios will completely ignore the qualitative aspect because the accounting ratio will always focus on the quantitative one. All the figures that are used that is used under the financial statements will be taken for the ratio calculations. The qualitative ones will be not taken for the ratio analysis. There are no standard definitions of the ratio, so firm may be using different formulas for the ratio. One such example is current ratio, where some firm take into consideration all the current liabilities but other ignore bank overdraft from current liabilities while calculating current ratio. Here, because of uh, because of many types of business that are available in global era, there is no standard formula or there is no standard definition for calculating the ratio analysis. Here, here the example given is current ratio, where all of us will consider the current liability, but in some situations the bank overdraft from the current liability will be taken and will be taken for the calculation, and sometimes it will be ignored from the calculations. So there is no such standard thing that this has to be added and these items to be rejected for calculating the ratio analysis. And finally, accounting ratio do not resolve any financial problem of the company. They are a means to the end, not the actual solution. This ratio analysis will always give information for solving the problem, but this ratio analysis will not solve a problem. It will give information and it will give the supporting document to solve the problem. It will not make the solution for the problem exactly. This is what the limit. These are all the things. This is what about the limitations of ratio analysis. And now the classification of ratio analysis, as you are seeing a chart which is there on the screen, ratio analysis type. There are five types of ratio analysis, the major five types: liquidity ratio, profitability ratio, solvency ratio, turnover ratio, and finally earning ratio. These five ratios are the major ratios that are there in the ratio analysis. And the liquidity ratio, under the head liquidity ratio, we have current ratio and quick ratio. Under the head of profitability ratio, we have gross profit ratio, operating profit ratio, net profit ratio, return on capital employed. Under the head solvency ratio, we have debt equity ratio, interest coverage ratio. In the head of turnover ratio, we have fixed asset turnover ratio, inventory turnover ratio, receivable turnover ratio. Finally, under the head of earning ratio, we have profit earning ratio, earning per share. These are all the types of a ratio that we are going to discuss in Unit 2 under the head ratio analysis, which is coming under the category of financial statement analysis. Now, we discuss the main core classifications of a ratio analysis. Number first one, liquidity ratio. Second one, profitability ratio. Third one, solvency ratio. Fourth one, turnover ratio. And finally, fifth one, earning ratio. Now, the first one, liquidity ratio. This type of ratio helps in measuring the ability of a company to take care of its short-term debt obligations. A higher liquidity ratio represents the company is highly rich in cash. The types of liquidity ratio are here. Number first one is ratio analysis. In the ratio analysis, number first one is the liquidity ratio. The liquidity ratio means it is purely taking care of the short-term debt obligations. In this liquidity ratio, if the company's cash is high in ratio, then we say that the liquidity ratio of the concern is good. And if the cash value of the organization is getting low, then the liquidity position of the company will be in poor situation. This is how the liquidity ratio is playing the major role. Liquidity, the meaning, we have the concept called liquidity ratio, but generally liquidity refers to the ability of a firm in settling its current liability as and when they become due. It is also known as short-term solvency. So the word liquidity is focused on the ability of a firm by settling its current liability as and when they are in the due. The ratio, the liquidity ratio that are used to test the liquidity position of the firm. The ratio that are used to test the liquidity position of a firm are called liquidity ratio. And this liquidity ratio have two types, as we said already. One is current ratio and the other one is quick ratio. Now we are moving with the current ratio. The current ratio is the ratio between the current asset and liability of a company. The ratio, it is used to indicate the liquidity of an organization in being able to meet its debt obligations in the upcoming 12 months, that is for the 1 year. A higher current ratio will indicate that the organization is highly capable of repaying its short-term debt obligations. The formula for the current ratio is current asset divided by current liability. Here, the current ratio is always dealing with the current asset and current liability. The current ratio establishes the relationship between the current asset and current liability. Now, what is current asset? Current assets are those assets that can be converted into cash within a year. If the if any asset that can be easily converted into cash within a year, then it is known as current asset. What is current liability? The current liability are those liabilities that should be settled within a short period of 1 year. If you have any liability that can be settled within a 1 year, then that liability is known as current liability. Now, the formula for the current ratio is current asset divided by current liability. Current ratio is also known as working capital ratio, as the excess of current asset over the current liability is called working capital. I repeat, the current ratio is also known as working capital ratio, as the excess of current asset when the current asset is higher than the current liability, then it is called as working capital. In current asset, that is in current ratio, bank overdraft should be excluded from current liability when it is a permanent or long-term arrangement with the bank. This is what about the current ratio. I hope you people could have understood about the current ratio and the formula for current ratio. Now it is quick ratio. Quick ratio is used to ascertain the information pertaining to the ability of a company in paying off its current liability on an immediate basis. The formula used for the calculation of quick ratio is cash and cash equivalents plus marketable securities plus accounts receivable divided by current liability. As the quick ratio or liquid ratio or acid test ratio. The word quick ratio is also known as liquid ratio or acid test ratio. The quick ratio is more rigorous test of liquidity than the current ratio. Quick ratio establishes the relationship between quick asset and current liabilities. Quick asset. What do you mean by quick asset? Quick asset are those assets which could be easily and quickly converted into cash within a short period without the loss of value. Here, quick asset refers to the asset which can be easily and quickly converted into cash within a short period by avoiding the loss of the value. And this concept is known as quick ratio, and here the formula is quick ratio equal to cash and cash equivalents plus marketable securities plus accounts receivable divided by current liabilities. So we have the other formula in simple words: quick ratio equal to quick asset divided by quick liability. As you all know, quick liability equal to current liability minus bank overdraft. You know what is current liability? If you are subtracting the bank overdraft from the current liability, then it is known as quick liability. Quick asset, which is the asset which can be easily converted into cash easily and quickly within a short period, is known as quick asset. So this is what the formula for quick ratio. And in today's class, we have discussed about what is ratio analysis, advantages of ratio analysis, limitations, and the types of ratio analysis. Under the types of ratio analysis, we have 5 types. Now we have discussed about the first one called what is ratio and what is current ratio. We have discussed about the first one, current ratio, quick ratio, under the head liquidity ratio. With this, we are winding up today's class. We will see other classifications of ratio in the next class. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.